Hey, everybody. I thought I'd share my thought process in selecting South Africa for retirement as opposed to Ghana while flat twisting his head. So, you all get a twofer here. But in any case, thanks for joining me and let's go. So, as many of you know, my gateway country to the continent in 2019 was Ghana. And it was then that I discovered the beauty of Africa and where all the myths of what Africa was were dispelled, and where I began to wonder how I could further connect to the motherland at that point. Like I was really enamored with Africa as a whole, and especially Ghana. So if you had told me like 10 years ago that I would be moving to the continent, I would have looked at you sideways and wondered what you were, drinking or smoking. But however, as you know, since 2019, I've connected academically with the continent, specifically Ghana, and had the opportunity and been blessed to visit other countries since then on the continent. So I knew ultimately I would have some type of connection with Africa in general post my work life and academic life. So, yeah, I developed relationships in Ghana and community there. And as of 2020, I really thought that I was going to make a move there. Like, I really envisioned myself being on the continent as a retiree, as an expat. And so I had a checklist, and most of the aesthetic and the social, emotional, and cultural pieces ticked off. However, as time passed beyond 2020, and as I got a little closer to eligibility for retirement, I started looking at some other factors that I felt were central and non negotiable for me to be able to tick off, in other words, for me to retire comfortably, excuse me. And so I want you first off to understand that this is sort of a disclaimer that Ghana remains a beautiful country. It's full of history, great expat community, direct connection, obviously, to diasporal Black history. That's very apparent. Organic foods has a lot of things in place that are absolutely attractive. However, I'd like to be candid about some of the areas that were important to me and essential that I have access to in order to thrive as a senior living outside the United States. So ultimately, the decision that led me to select South Africa as my country to live in abroad was based on personal need and personal likes and the potential for a seamless transition. So this does not discount or refute anyone else's choice of a country for retirement. So I want to talk about healthcare first. The healthcare choices here in South Africa most mimicked what I was used to having in terms of comprehensiveness and choice and coverage in America. And so I ended up picking a vendor here that most mimicked that. Uh, there were choices in Ghana, but I had been privy to information that concerned me, shall I say, regarding how business was done and paying up front for services, um, and getting your own linens and things like that, and going to get your um, pharmaceuticals and prescriptions and other places that were kind of disjointed from medical facilities. And so that concerned me, on top of my having actually experienced being in traffic when um, an ambulance was trying to get by, sirens blaring and everything, and nobody was moving. Like, wow. Um, So yeah, that kind of concerned me, and I'm sure that's not the case all the time everywhere. But the healthcare here in South Africa, where I am, just most mimicked what I was used to having. So that was the first thing, just healthcare, and then secondly, it was the rand to dollar exchange rate that was attractive. Not that Ghana did not have an attractive exchange rate as well, but I was very much comfortable with the rates here at the time. When I moved here in 2023, I think it was like 18 to 1 in terms of uh, dollar to rand. And so, yeah, that worked out very well for me. And I'll tell you where it worked out extremely well is when I was purchasing property. Um, Being able to forward capital here that would have only given me the power to purchase, a small, um, you know, property in Chicago or wherever I would end up in the U.S. Uh, afforded me more space. I'll put it that way here. Um, in a quality neighborhood, by the way, I am in the richest square mile of Africa, so that was kind of cool. That worked out in my purchasing property here and transferring that capital over. So that's second. Um, Thirdly, it's just easy for me here to uh, manage both my US and South Africa finances here, to do banking, to transfer funds, etc., seamlessly. I do remember my last trip in Ghana. I had to actually wire over money or something like that because I had run out of cash and wasn't sure whether or not my ATM card was going to work in a specific branch ATMs. And it turned out that one of the banks that I had previously uh, used my ATM in, or debit card, I should say, in, when I came back from the next trip, I was no longer able to use that card. So, you know, things changed just like that, just that quickly. And so that kind of made my having cash on hand a little bit difficult in Ghana. But here, it's a tap and go system, and every vendor that I use, such as Uber and things like that, I have access to. I just need to switch over, locations, etc. So, yeah, banking here is a lot easier, and tracking my financial holdings in America. Not that they're vast, but they are accessible on that term. Uh, on that level, I'm more familiar with the business systems here in South Africa because they are, for the most part, very much westernized. I mentioned before buying property here, and how similar that process was, with the exception of a few minor things like here they have what's called a conveyancer that operates between both properties, or both parties, I should say, um, in terms of legal transfers and things like that. So I had to get used to that, and actually had to hire another attorney to watch the attorney that I was partnered with to make my transaction. So yeah, it was a slightly scary process because I wasn't sure 100% um, of everything within the transaction, but it was very much similar to real estate, excuse me, transactions in the U.S. So everything worked out great. Um, no language barrier here, but that's pretty much true in Ghana as well. English on both accounts in both countries is used widely. So that wasn't a deal breaker for Ghana, but it did make my decision to be here in South Africa a lot easier. I didn't have to navigate that barrier. There is a strong expat community here in South Africa, should I choose to be involved in that. Um, and so that is accessible. But honestly, my development of community over the 3 years that I've been here in South Africa, I have connected more so with people involved in my faith community, and they're not American. So, you know, if you go to a specific country, you connect with the people that resonate with your interests and your spirit, and um, people that you just organically connect to. And it makes it a lot easier to build community and make true friends. Reliable internet was another thing. And it's very reliable here in South Africa. I've had no issues with that, unless there was a slight outage, which I did experience on my first year here, but it wasn't widespread. That was definitely a noticeable issue when I was in Ghana, especially during the completion of my doctoral studies, when I had to get additional data from teachers in Ghana, and they were located in a rural area. So there were instances where I collected qualitative data, um, and sometimes my internet and connection with them would go out, and I would have to, reschedule the completion of that collection for another time, because the internet in that area that they were in was not specifically reliable. And so that was a challenge and indicative of what I might experience had I moved there. Here in South Africa, not so much an issue. So that was a plus. Um, Also, let's see here, access to medications and medical facilities here. I mentioned that before, but I also want to add to that caveat that I am actually down the street from a private hospital, and my primary care physician also is affiliated with that hospital. So, if anything should happen, as stuff does, but has not yet, thank God. I'm next to a reputable facility, and I also have a device that I got as soon as I got here on top of healthcare. I got a safety device that I wear when I'm by myself. And should anything happen, I just press a button on that device. Someone locates me via GPS, they come get me. Um, they know how to access my facility, and they take me to said hospital. They know all of my emergency contacts and my physician's name and contact information, and they can go from there. So it was nice to be able to have a medical aid that I could wear and have accessible to me in case something happens. And again, I have no pre existing conditions that I came here with. I'm healthy, thank God. But, as we age, things begin to happen or can change. And so you want to have that in place. As they say, it's better to be ready than to have to get ready. So I just felt that that was a plus for me. Transportation here is fantastic in South Africa. Yes, there's Uber and Bolt and things like that in Ghana as well. But I remember in my beginning visits of Ghana, where they were only taking cash, I think, for Uber rides. And I just thought that that was very interesting. And that was one of the reasons why, in my early visits there, I felt like I needed to have cash on hand. And yeah, cash is kind of king in Ghana, and so there was that constant back and forth of me trying to wire money over, etc., and get it exchanged. Where here in South Africa, it's simply just tap and go. As long as I communicated with my bank in America that I now resided here, uh, I'm able to use my uh, card that does not have any fees associated with it. And I'm also able to rack up reward points still, even though I'm abroad. That card works fantastic. So that was another plus. Safety, I think, is pretty neck and neck between Ghana and South Africa. I, have no safety concerns where I am here in South Africa. And I also don't think that I'm at any particular risk exceedingly here than I would be in Ghana. Of course, you always need to use wisdom. You don't walk the streets, phone hanging out, cards accessible, etc. So, coming from Chicago, that wasn't something that I needed to be told in excess by people. There were people when I got here, I guess, that could see the tourist in my face and the newbie look. And, there were the constant reminders and recommendations. Don't have your phone out because somebody might take it and blah, blah. And, while I appreciated that, it was, to the point of more so of their paranoia and they're trying to project that on me than the safety, um, I guess the safety or fear of lack thereof that I should have felt. So yes, I feel safe here. So those are the main reasons why I selected South Africa. It's just been seamless for me, and a lot of the products and things that I'm used to using here are here and accessible to me. Um, the lifestyle is similar, but it still gives me the feel and cultural connection to Africa. And that's what I really love most about it. My quality of life here is more easily accessible for me, and the things that I want and value and appreciate are a little bit more easily accessible here. So it was a personal decision. And so, again, I want to make sure that people understand that, it's very personal according to what your needs are. And this is why self awareness is super important. Know who you are, know what you need, know how you thrive in the world, know what you need to have access to, etc. And it makes it easier to tick those boxes and understand whether or not your negotiables or non-negotiables are being met. Okay, that's pretty much it. And if you're watching this hair twist session here, make sure you keep your hair saturated. Make sure you twist all the way to the ends. Keep smoothing as you're going down. And use those products that work for you. And I'll be back in a few hours. I should be 100% dry. And I'll take it down just for you so you can see how it turned out. Take care. Shrinkage loading, by the way. Hey, everybody, I'm back. It's been about, I guess, 8 hours or so, and I let my hair air dry. If I were in a hurry and it were, the process rather had started later, I probably would have gone under a hood or something like that. But the air dry was cool. You noticed the shrinkage. And I also did clip a little bit of a couple of the ends in the front that had some heat damage. And my blowout season is over now. It's warm out here. It's the beginning of spring and going into summer here in South Africa. So I don't have to do like dry hairstyles in an effort to protect myself from catching cold and stuff like that. So now it's time to do some fun stuff. So yeah, the key is to make sure that your hair is completely dry, because if it's not, A twist out is going to be kind of a fuzzy and frizzy disaster. And I think I told you before that you also need to make sure that you twist all the way to the ends so that your ends can take advantage of their natural curl and be defined as well. So if you notice, as I'm taking the hair down, I'm not just rifling through it, but I'm trying to take the hair down per the pieces that I twisted. So I am separating them the same way that they were twisted together, so that I'm not really taking my fingers or nails through the hair and creating a frizz situation. And so the back is the acid test. If you twist it properly, then you shouldn't see that big dichotomy between the texture of the front of the hair, which for me is a little softer and the cuticle is a little bit smoother, and then the back of the hair, which is for C all the way through Z. So, yeah, real important that the back is twisted well. So I'm just taking it apart here piece by piece. And so I'll let you go ahead and watch that.